How's it going, man?
It's all right. It's okay. I mean,
we had an earlier conversation with your wife, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, but it's like this is our third episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Part 1 went long, and might be part 2. We don't know, but anyways.
Or it's the first episode.
Yeah, I remember, and I watching the playback. I was like just listening to myself, and I just kept saying, "We're gonna get better. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better." I think one of the reasons, and it's like, why not talk about it briefly? We have both just lost our dogs.
Yeah.
And it is one of life's firm kick in the balls when that happens. It's like those goddamn fucking dogs. It's like...
It's the worst. And it's... We get these dogs. We love them, and they love us.
Yeah.
And they don't know any better, so they love us.
But it's how they love it. It's like you are the greatest person in the world to them.
I mean, but it's like if a person showed that excitement when you
like,
walked into a room, you'd be like, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
I should not be near them. But these dogs, these goddamn dogs.
Yeah.
And they just bring you such happiness, and it never ends well. It always ends tragically.
Yeah.
Even if your dog's sick for a really long time, it's tragic.
Right. Oh, every...
And the same can be said. I guarantee.
Yeah, as soon as you
cats,
give it...
people with cats feel the same way about their cats.
Yeah.
We're not discounting other pets.
No.
I'm sure you weird-ass ferret people feel the same way.
They live forever because they're like demon animals, right?
Right, yeah, with their beady red eyes.
No. So the first 2 episodes we put together were under, this thing. It's like we both lost our dogs to cancer. You're like in 2 different extremes. You found out and he was gone like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Which is like, it's like getting hit by a bus. Where ours, she was diagnosed in December and we did radiation and chemo and like it's like, and everyone was great and, she was getting through it and she was coming around and then she just took a hard left. So then 4 months later, we're saying goodbye. It's just like, it's a life punch. So, I was kind of feeling like the Jive and Honey was not exactly a material full force. So not making excuses. We're still doing it. We're still putting mics in front of our fat holes and talking.
We didn't cry at any point.
Right.
And I do have to say, one of the worst parts of my dog getting cancer was because your dog had just been diagnosed with cancer. Yeah. I really thought you'd be like, he's trying to steal my thunder. This is my time to get attention. My dog is sick. How dare your dog be sick? I spent a whole weekend coming to terms with that, as well as the fact that my dog was actually like going to die very shortly.
Not going to tell me and just be like one day, oh yeah, Ozzy's gone.
I'm sorry. He's
what?
Gone. Yeah, that would have been that would have been psychotic if I had done that. But it did cross my mind. I was like, man, I hate to take their...
But it's funny, like
all the attention away from them.
When we got it confirmed, our vet told us it's a possibility, and then we got it confirmed. We were expecting she only has a month,
right?
And, which is always it's a lot less than what they tell you. But then they're like, oh no, she could have a full life for at least a year, maybe even longer. So we're like, whoa! And then literally the next month you get it, and it was like 1 month. It was 2 weeks, and
which was the craziest thing. Where he went, the vet. It was an emergency visit because of to get an ultrasound, and the guy literally said to my wife like, the next few weeks, and we were like, what?
Yeah,
what?
You hear the words, but understanding those words, is like
it's such an insane, crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is hilarious. Glad
Yeah.
we just
I'm
talk about this.
But just to know, it's like stay with us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep, stick with it.
It's only gonna get better. You know, just like
It's not all dead dogs.
yeah, some of these topics. You know.
Some people feel like we're beating a dead dog.
And just say we're kind of running along the theme of everything, you know, with fame and celebrity, and we're bringing up a topic and just talking about it. It's like, please do not hold us as a factual entity
yes.
to get your
Please.
information.
There are
These are just
lots of opinions, but very little
Yeah.
facts.
And we're just going to say on today's subject, everything is allegedly. Right now. I mean, there's a few. Allegedly. Today we are going to talk about, can you still enjoy a canceled performer's work once they've been canceled? Even their past work. People like Michael Jackson, Kevin Spacey, Woody Allen. It's like,
Love the art, not the artist, right?
love the art. No, yeah, love the art, hate the art.
Hate the artist.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's funny. I was having a conversation with a couple of the boys yesterday, and I realized I think there's varying degrees of like I don't think anybody can honestly say like, nope, if they've been canceled,
Right.
I no longer
Right.
appreciate their art that they created. Even if
Right.
I was a big fan, nope, all of them, they're all gone. So it's like, it's sort of like Michael Jackson. There's a lot of stuff about him. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to like Michael Jackson.
Yeah. It's like, I'm still one of the few people that listen to the radio in my vehicle. It's the only time I listen to the radio. But it's like, I have to say, Michael Jackson comes on, I switch the station. It's just,
Right.
I don't know what it is.
I feel bad for Quincy Jones. He wrote most of those songs.
I mean, but it's amazing. I mean, you know, I love Michael Jackson's music. It's like, you know, from Jackson 5 all the way to that. He made amazing music.
Yeah.
But it just, it bothers me now.
Yeah, I mean, there's some, you know, my daughter played a Jackson 5 song, and I was like, man, that is a great song. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I was like, let's just ignore it, and hopefully it'll just fall out of it. But
your,
yeah,
your brain starts. There's like ABC came up, and
Right.
what
Well,
an
yeah.
amazing song. Like, do you think? Well,
Oh, I think
he
about-
didn't turn into like a
pedophile monster. quite
pedophile
yet.
monster yet.
He wasn't a white pedophile yet.
He didn't
He was
bleach
some little
himself
black boy.
and invited little boys to Playland.
Well, when I hear the Jackson 5, I just try to think of Tito. And
He's gonna get his a third of a cent
yeah,
on Spotify.
Yeah. And so, but it's for me, it's always been easier because I was so sick of Michael Jackson's music, solo Michael
Yeah.
Jackson's music. I was so sick of it, and everybody loved it
Yeah.
for so long that I was like, I cannot hear this ever again and be fine.
Yeah.
So like if PYT, which is arguably a like really great song,
amazing
comes on, I don't really have trouble turning it off.
Yeah. No.
Like if I never heard Billie Jean again, even if nothing had happened, I wouldn't have cared.
Right. Okay.
Honestly.
Now, how about like Woody Allen? Are you watching a Woody Allen film?
I think I can continue to watch films he directed. Seeing him on screen is a tough sell.
Right. But that was the smartest movie ever made.
He also
like
started
all his
making-
last 5,
He
6
started
films.
making some of his best films once
without
he stopped
himself.
being in it.
Yeah.
I mean, Match Point, Midnight in Paris, you know, the Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
all some of his best films.
Yeah.
I mean, his best films in years. There had been a
Yeah.
pretty big gap, and you know, not being in it really does help
Does help.
soften the sell a little bit. Now, I do have to say, I mean, you change the channel when you hear a Michael Jackson song. I hear R. Kelly, I'm sticking. If I hear Ignition remix, I'm sticking with it to the chorus. And I know that's almost reprehensible, but it's such a good song. I have to stay just a little bit longer. And then I'm like, it's the worst. He's worse. But I mean, at the same time, Rob Lowe, I mean, he was accused of having sex with a minor. He didn't pee on her, but there was a videotape from the DNC in 19 whatever of him like having sex with a minor. Now he did predate everyone else and getting canceled, so I mean, there might have been some leniency.
I mean that happened a long. I mean, finding out about it happened a long time ago.
It wasn't like and it didn't get brought back again. But I mean, that's pretty reprehensible. But you know what? St. Elmo's Fire fucking kicks ass.
Oh yeah,
you know, shit. Yeah, Parks and Rec. He was amazing. He changed the way people talked. Everyone says literally now, all the time.
Austin Powers, where he played.
He played Robert.
The guy
Wagner.
that killed his wife.
He played Robert Wagner as younger version, which is crazy because that would have been around the time he killed Natalie Wood.
Yes,
allegedly.
Allegedly. But then you have someone like a Kevin Spacey. Can you watch Usual Suspects? Can you watch L.A. Confidential? Amazing movies. Some of my favorite movies. Are you watching it? It comes on. And Cars are so say.
You know what? I might. No. I can't. I don't think I can because. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he just like kind of got exonerated a little bit.
Did he?
I don't know if it's completely.
Again, do
allegedly.
not hold us to facts.
Give it.
Google your own.
Yeah, look it up yourself. Because we're
talking on the topic of.
And we talk about a lot of things we don't really know what we're talking about.
The tough thing with Kevin Spacey, though, is that a lot of actors, as good as he is, and other actors, they get typecast, and his power on the screen was being kind of sleazy. And he had that swarmy, like, I'm better than you, I can get away with shit kind of persona.
Right.
So now that you know
that he was swarmy and was like, I can get away with shit.
In real life, with underage boys, is like, allegedly.
Younger.
I
mean, it's... I don't know how problematic it was on a scale of underage to young. But all unwanted or unwarranted.
Yes.
So that's a problem.
Yes. So, and he's disappeared. I have not, you see someone like a Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
No, not Mel Brooks.
So sorry. Mel Brooks, still alive, hasn't anyone.
Mel Gibson.
How did we let Mel Gibson back? Do we like him that fucking much?
Well, he started doing it's funny. It's direct to streaming, I guess you would say. We used to say direct to videotape.
Right.
Direct to VCR.
Straight to Laserdisc.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Yeah, why are we okay with that? I mean, that was some pretty horrible shit.
But I think, I don't condone it in any way, but, he was drunk. Talking out his ass.
He was drunk. He had a little honesty juice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of there's a history of
and he's the actual person seems like a pretty hateful person. Like inside, he seems like angry.
Yeah, he seems pretty.
Seems
pretty
like
angry.
a pretty angry dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just watched a little bit of Lethal Weapon the other day.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. That'd be hard not to watch.
Yeah. More talks and rigs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was so upset with Mel Gibson, and I thought it was because of Signs. And then I realized, he hates Jews. I really thought everyone had realized just how terrible his performance
But he was also very informative. It's like, you can't call women sugar tits. That was a learning lesson for me.
That was important, huh?
That was important.
Yeah.
It's like maybe
I'm glad you learned. I'm very glad you learned that one.
I have never called anyone sugar tits
Since Mel Gibson.
in public. But then, yeah, it's like the severity of allegations plays in, because like that was just him talking out his ass, where Kevin Spacey was hitting on young boys.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's like, with the exception of like Mad Max, Lethal Weapon, like even like some of those later movies he was in, where he directed and it started. That were enjoyable films.
Very enjoyable. Yeah.
Payback. That's actually what I was thinking. I could never see that again. I'd be fine. I don't care.
Right. No, I get that.
Mel Gibson doesn't make another. Like, I haven't needed to. I've not felt any interest in seeing anything he's done.
Yeah. No, I just saw him, and he's kind of. I don't know if he gained weight and lost weight or whatever, but his face is kind of melting, and he's kind of hiding in the beer. I just watch a trailer. I love to watch trailers. It's kind of like I go to IMDb and watch the latest trailers. I really enjoy trailers.
You're trailer trash.
Yeah, I am trailer trash. But he's in a new one, and he does not look good. It's like
Yeah, that's
so. But then, like, on the topic of, can you still enjoy the person's work? Mm-hmm. The one that's really weird, because it wasn't an actor, but he's heinous and convicted and will die in jail, is Harvey Weinstein. But the Weinstein Group produced some of the best movies. Like, if it was a Weinstein production, I probably saw it. It was a
seal of
moniker.
approval. Yeah. It
was thoughtful and well done.
Here's the thing. It was the Weinstein brothers. Right? What is his brother doing? Why isn't he producing films? Or if he is, you don't know.
Right.
I have another theory, very unpopular idea, but
opinion.
It's an opinion, and it's. I'm like looking at the landscape of films over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Have you seen a really good film in 5 years?
No, we talked. We talked along on the not like these amazing, innovative, creative.
Yeah, and I know that's the
the
state of the industry,
good.
right? Is that you can't make money on smaller films, so they don't make smaller films. They have to make huge films to make money.
Yeah.
Or is it there haven't been any good films because Harvey Weinstein stopped making films?
But I don't know. God forbid I do research. Sorry, Gary. The A24 group are making exceptional films.
They are making very good films.
They're European?
Nope. They're LA. Yeah.
LA?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Like, that's my new. It's an A24 film.
Right. It's the Miramax. It's the Weinstein Group. It's whatever. It's It's good housekeeping. I mean, you're seeing that and going, that's good.
I will check that out.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think things are being done. I think it's just like, I hate to say, I'm such a comic book nerd, and I love the Marvel universe and a little bit of the DC universe, not much. But they are taking a big shit on independent films. Just what you said, it's like you have to do a $200 million movie for the possibility of making $1 billion.
Right. Well, I mean, it's, as we've seen a couple times now, it's without DVD sales, without that secondary market,
right.
A lot of stuff now suffers. Right. It's you can't make money on a film that costs $20 million to produce costs, $60 to $80 million to get to the theater for somebody to see it.
Right.
So now you have to make that much money. You have to make $80 million. That is a lot of seats to fill.
Yeah.
Without the idea that later on you're going to be selling DVDs.
Right.
There's none of that.
Right.
There's none of that. And also, like, putting it out to streaming services now they're not making a lot of money, whereas before you sold to You gave exclusivity to HBO. You did something. There was actual real money to be made there.
And I do have to say, it's like that has kind of compensated for the lack of films. The streaming
Prestige television.
Yeah, it's like HBO is still making amazing stuff.
True.
And occasionally like a Netflix and Amazon and like that will put out something really
No
good.
doubt. I mean, it's
Apple is like
Hulu and Apple have put out great stuff. At a certain point, though, they're going to go, this is not a good use of money.
Right.
And it's almost like these things have to check every box of it has to be
already happening.
It has to be
I believe.
intellectual property that people already know. There has to be a game. There has to be books. There has to be a choose your own adventure. There has to be whatever the fuck they need. Toys, Happy Meals. They need all of that to really make anything worthwhile. And it's such a shame.
Yeah.
As good as Dune is, it's like,
Yeah.
all right.
No,
cool.
and like that, like after I saw there's been like a good year and a half of like oversaturation where that they were just turning out so much stuff. A lot of it's crap now.
So much shit.
So much shit where I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes and be like, I haven't thought about it all week, and why would I go back to it?
Yeah.
But all right, back to our, love the art, hate the artist. Something to the point of that it is when it affects like something like the Marvel universe. And
like Kang?
Kang, exactly. What's his name? Jonathan Majors.
Real problem. I mean, that's
The last I heard
turned
is
everybody
like
upside down.
like they were kind of on the fence whether to write him off because like that was scheduled to be the next Avengers.
Next big baddie. Yeah.
What I saw is that they have officially fired him. So now they're wondering if they're going to replace him now playing Kang the Conqueror.
Due to illness.
Yeah.
The part of
Due to
Kang
illness.
will be played by Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Oh, yeah.
See, that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, Mel Gibson as Kang.
Yeah. Kevin Spacey as Kang.
No one will notice. Oh, come right in.
You could make Kevin Spacey Dr. Doom and nobody would know, right?
Right.
That would be funny.
Right. Kevin Spacey as Dr. Doom.
You never thought to
Replacing Kang.
play Dr. Doom like
Yeah.
a little affected and arrogant,
Yeah.
like, you know, like that kind of arrogance?
No, that backfires because who's Sex, Lies, and Videotapes guy? Pretty boy.
James Spader?
James Spader as Ultron.
Ah.
Crushed a boyhood
Yeah,
dream of seeing Ultron on the big screen.
Yeah, it was
It
not
was
good.
terrible.
It was one of the worst
was-
voiceover jobs ever.
It was so bad.
It was not good.
It was not good.
Yeah, that
And
was a shame.
also, like, being a comic book nerd, and, and it's like, I let a lot of things slide. It's like, as long as they do it well,
Mm-hmm.
they can, make Nick Fury black. They can make, my favorite character, Wonder Man, is going to be black. I'm like, all good.
Is this just about people being black
They
now?
believe black. No.
Because it's starting to feel that way.
No, because like they kind of manipulate storylines and do little things and like Hawkeye having kids.
Yeah, whatever's better for the product, right?
Whatever's better for the
yeah.
product. If it's good, it's great. They made Ultron's mouth move when he talked. Like that, like within like the
Did
first.
he have like pointy teeth too, like on his jawline? I think it was.
I don't know,
Maybe
but between Kevin Spader and it was terrible. It was really, really bad.
Yeah, I wish it had been Andrew McCarthy doing the voice of Ultron. That would have been
Blaine, we named the
Blaine.
toaster Blaine.
He's named after a toaster.
Appliance. Yeah. All right, moving on to canceled people.
Are we just gonna
Music.
name
No.
All right.
Music. It's like this is someone I think we both enjoyed. I saw him on Halloween here in Philly in a small venue, and it was insane. And it was so much fun. Is Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, again, I think it's a Kevin Spacey thing. I feel like he got somewhat exonerated for stuff.
Did he?
I think the bigger problem with Marilyn Manson now is that he's fat.
Yeah, he's
It's just
uncomfortably.
you can't have
Doughy.
that look
Yeah, you can't be.
and get fat.
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
stay skinny, whatever it
Oh,
takes,
yeah.
if that's going to be your thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's all so cool.
Yeah.
Like
If
your
you're-
look, your whole
yeah.
thing. You have to die or stay skinny.
Yes.
Or die staying skinny. Like like whatever it takes, man. You can't have that look and then go the other way on it. It's just it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. You can't be fat with that kind of image.
Now you have things like, like a Will Smith, which is like, is so weird. I don't know if he's canceled. It's just like, I think everyone realizing he's a dick. And, and his movies are kind of shitty. And so it's a kind of a welcoming thing of being like, yeah, he can go away.
Yeah, I think everyone just got
And his kids.
Everyone just
Scoop
got
him, his
sick of
kids, his wife, scoop them all up. We're good. We're done. It's all right.
I think his daughter has a new record out this week. I can't be 100% positive on that one. I think I saw that. And you know what? I didn't totally hate her before because she kind of looked like an alien. And I was like,
no,
this is kind
I
of cool.
hated her.
The son, just the worst.
The worst.
Yeah. And Will Smith's other kid, because no one ever talks about him.
He has 3.
Yeah, he has a kid from his first marriage with the woman he
no,
he
he
left.
doesn't count.
Yeah, no one cares about that kid because you know
Yeah.
what? He's probably
A normal, very nice.
just normal, chubby guy. He's probably totally fine, and no one cares because it's not one of those 2 insipid little shits.
They're the worst. Absolute worst.
But I think everyone's
Oh my
I think everyone's just sick of his stuff. It's like for anything you did that was good, you did 5 things that annoyed everyone. So stop. I mean, it's like Hitch and Hancock and Independence Day, and now we got to put up with the rest of your
the
career.
rest of the shit that he's going to
like,
produce.
yeah,
Oh, my
right.
God. All right. Now, this is a little broader or take on this is how much do comedians get a pass? Well, I should say, okay, because on my list I have Louis C.K.,
Okay.
which I loved, and then he got canceled.
Yep.
I loved his stand-up. I loved his weird sitcoms. I enjoyed everything he produced. He gets canceled, and rightfully so. It's like, it's not cool. Not cool, Louis C.K.
Right. Now,
But like he's making a slow comeback.
I don't think he's making a slow comeback. I think if you were a if you were a comedy fan, I feel like you know for sure Louis C.K. has been back.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
he did like some sold out Madison Square Garden shows, streamed them live,
Oh wow.
and made
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison
All right,
Square Garden. I mean, it's I think he's doing fine. He did the right thing. He disappeared, went away. He moved to Europe apparently, like has a girlfriend from France who's like an intellectual and spent time living with her. I think a lot of women especially thought he wasn't away long enough because he did come back like maybe almost a year later and start doing some stand-up spots.
Right.
Everyone felt like his punishment wasn't enough. I think the problem with Louis C.K. is that he's
not good looking.
if
he was a good-looking
if he was
man,
better looking, he would be okay.
it'd be
If he was
okay.
good looking, it would.
If he didn't look
would've
like
been-
a ginger toad.
he would have been welcomed back. I think one of the biggest problem with Louis C.K.'s situation and why he was canceled was because of the power dynamic.
Right.
That was one of those
yeah,
instances
which is
where,
wrong.
for sure, even more than Bryant Gumbel, not Bryant Gumbel, the other guy from the Today Show.
Yeah, not Brian
Brian
Gumbel.
Gumbel did not
did
assault
lock
anybody.
people in
He
their
did
office.
not. Brian Gumbel did not rape anyone. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't
Matt
know.
Lauer.
I don't know that Matt Lauer raped anyone either.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, he may have though. Allegedly, but Louis C.K.'s thing was he was successful. The women in the room were not successful.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where
Yeah.
the real problem lies. He said like, "Hey, I'm gonna masturbate," and then masturbated, which is always a sign when somebody tells you it's gonna happen, it's probably gonna happen.
Leave the room. Get out.
That's the time to leave.
Yeah, that's the time to leave. But those words should never come out of someone's mouth while they're at work.
Well, it's a weird thing, right? Because you're a comedian, you're in like a
Right.
hotel room, which
Yeah.
is like it's such a. It's not this clear delineation of office space or on
Right.
set.
No,
or,
I know, and it's very
Yeah.
different. And
different.
Like the entertainment world is a lot looser. It's not corporate. You're not wearing a suit. You're
No,
not
but it
punching the
is
clock.
corporate. That's
It
where,
is.
I think that's
but
why
not
it's a problem on
the creative
movies.
people, and like once you get to a certain level too, you get more freedom.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so I'm sure Louis C.K. was just running independently.
If Louis C.K. was writing for, Conan O'Brien still when that happened.
Yeah.
Huge problem.
he would've been
He's
fired
done. He's
and,
been
like,
fired,
gone.
gone,
Yeah.
buried, because it's NBC. He's a comedian doing his own thing, and I mean, one of the guys who did totally his own thing and was like, forget everyone else. I'm going to do what I want because I'm going to do it myself, and put himself out there.
Yeah.
Major credit for that. But then he did that.
And it's funny. I just had that. It's like it's we're living in the time that you just wait for a shoe to drop on anyone. There's like favorite people. It's like, and I always pronounce this wrong. Danny Glover or Glover.
Danny Glover from
Atlanta.
Danny Glover's from Lethal Weapon.
Right. Danny.
No, you mean the other Glover, not Crispin Glover,
No, not Christopher Glover. I know who that is.
not Danny Glover, Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Right.
Same last name as Lethal Weapon.
Yes. None of them are related, by the way.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can see where
Yeah, I can
Crispin
see-
Glover wouldn't be
But-
related to Donald Glover.
I think he's so talented. And I love everything he does. It's like from his movies. Atlanta is like one of the best TV shows ever. It's like, but like, it would break my heart if you like something comes out. It's like, so don't do anything, man. If you did anything,
but there have been
squash it.
There have been rumblings that he was like, mean to people. I don't want to say abusive because I don't know, but he was mean to people
but like
on set.
that in today's world.
I know
it's
everyone's
like,
such a fucking crybaby.
Yeah,
It's like,
crybaby bitches.
know-
All of you, stop it.
it's funny if you think about 70s and early 80s cinema, which you're talking like maybe the greatest time for American cinema in particular. It was the meanest group of filmmakers. And you know what?
Coppola, Ridley Scott.
No, you know what? No. Coppola was not mean. Coppola was
Ask Winona Ryder.
okay.
Ask
but
Winona
no,
Ryder.
but that was on the other side of shit. That was in the 70s, like Apocalypse Now. He actually was not a tyrant director at a time when Blade Runner, Ridley Scott was just, couldn't have been meaner, I don't think. And you have William Friedkin, who, during The Exorcist, like to make people be like shocked, would like fire guns off next to their heads and they wouldn't know what's going to happen. I mean, like insane stuff.
Right.
And then it takes a while. I think it took a while. I think Coppola had to have a couple failures before he got mean.
But it goes along with like chefs. Chefs used to be like executive chefs used to be the angriest, meanest people, and it was to draw out greatness. It's like firing a gun. It's to bring out realness. It's like doing all this stuff. It's like now chefs are kind and gentle. Directors
Isn't it
are
funny though?
amenable.
If you watch cooking shows now, they actually acknowledge it.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, 10 years ago we wouldn't have
Yes.
put up with that, but now we're gentle.
Yeah. But it's also like, listen, sports fan. It's like they don't practice. Football players don't practice anymore. There's no practices.
No,
They
run drills.
They sit in
They
meetings.
run drills.
They walk through drills.
yeah, they walk through drills.
So it's just like it's and it's maybe society will be better for it. But it's like, but when it seeps over,
was the food you ate 10 years ago better?
I didn't have the money to eat good food back then, so I don't know.
right?
And
but
that was longer than 10 years, I think.
right.
It's
No.
you
But
know, like but it's funny is like Gordon Ramsay made a career off of it, calling people donuts and idiot sandwiches. And,
true. The
you know,
sandwich thing is very funny. That
very
was not
funny.
real. That was
Yeah,
for,
it's all
that was
produced.
for that was for like a spoof on like
Was I didn't
Letterman
know.
or something. But
Damn.
very funny.
It's still very funny.
Still very funny, and it was so on brand that everyone thought it was real,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
I do think that we literally just said it. Like films have definitely fallen off. But here's the thing: William Friedkin would fire a gun off to make an actor act startled.
Right.
I think the guy that played the priest was like, "Hey man, I'm an actor. I know how to act scared. Don't shoot a fucking gun off next to my head ever again."
Yeah.
Because that's just cruel.
All right. Now this goes back to just because my memory's so bad. There was, I want to say an HBO show, but I won't remember the actor. I won't remember the show.
It's gonna be
Rosie
good.
O'Donnell.
This is going to be a good
That's
conversation.
No. But
East of
she,
Eden.
she got canceled. She was the basketball player. The lady. She played basketball. She played basketball in it, and her little kid was called Larry Bird. And it's like. Anyways, she got canceled. Her show got canceled because she was abusive on set. Like she was like yelling, during sex scenes and whatever to get people riled up. And it was she made an unsafe work environment or whatever. So
One time I never want to be yelled at is during sex. I don't appreciate being yelled at.
But my thing is like all these people. And I also say like politicians too. It's like to reach that level of fame, celebrity, to have that kind of talent, and it either goes to drugs or sex or something weird. But I think like a lot of like geniuses or very talented people also a little bit tortured, a little bit fucked up. It's like the certain mix of kookiness and insanity that makes these people so talented.
I think initially, early in their careers of creating, yes, that is true. And I think the problem occurs when these people have success and then people start being afraid to tell them no.
Right.
And then the high's not high enough, the weird's not weird enough.
Right.
The
And then you have money.
You have money. Yeah.
You throw cash on top of that. I always said when I was like in my 20s, the only reason I didn't become an alcoholic is I couldn't afford it.
That's funny.
It's 100% true.
But it's accurate.
It's accurate.
Yeah. Because you can only get so drunk at happy hour.
Right.
Like you can't hold any more. Like the sponge can't hold any more
The
water.
2 for $1 for $5 only lasts until 6 o'clock.
And you can only chase that around town for there's so many hours. It's true.
But you throw money because that's the other thing too that's so warping with it's like it takes a certain person to do all this stuff. Same thing with athletes. It's like, they've been put on a pedestal their whole lives and they just get thrown. Then you just throw money on top of it. It's like lighter fluid.
Yeah. Well, being indulgent is a great feeling.
Right.
Like if you also like there's a lot of arrested development I think with people, especially the younger you are that you have success. I think it's almost like it's parallel to trauma where it stunts you.
Oh yeah.
Right? So if you're
it's going to affect you some way.
If you're an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old who didn't have much growing up, gets drafted by a team and is given a lot of money, chances are you're like, I'm going to have ice cream for dinner every night because you're not fully formed. Yeah. You're not fully capable. You weren't out in the real world and dealt with stuff, like adult stuff. You dealt with kid stuff. And even if your home life sucked or whatever, it was residually you dealt with stuff. Not as I make decisions that I figured out I had to cancel my cable to pay my electric. Right. Even stupid shit like that. You're just insane now with money.
Right. All right, going back to Louis C.K., I think this is where it all
I would
started.
definitely not fuck him. Not want to be yelled at by Louis C.K. while I'm having sex. I thought we were wrapping things up. I'm sorry.
We're just putting everything all together.
Yeah.
No, if it's in their act, can they be held accountable? And I'm thinking of Chappelle. I'm sorry. Like with David Chappelle, it's like he caught so much shit because he was busting on transgenders.
Right. But he's not I feel like he's at a different these are two very different things, right? Louis C.K. talked about masturbating a lot. And it was almost like a serial killer that returns to the scene of the crime.
Right.
I mean, it was like he's like, oh, no. Oh, I was telling you all along. Right. He almost Kaiser Sosa'd us. Dave Chappelle's opinions are his opinions, and he is massive. One of the biggest, one of the cleverest, quickest, best writers out there. And he can and does say whatever he pleases.
Yeah. And it's okay.
It's not
under
okay
the guys,
with everybody.
Like if he's on stage, like if he's not drunk in a car yelling at a cop.
Right. Having a microphone, you can't hide behind it though.
Right.
Because
but that was the greatest thing about comics and comedy is that you want it unadulterated, uncensored. You want it raw. You like the shock value. I mean, I did anyways. I know you that's like we appreciate that. It's like the like how their mind thinks and twists it and turns it and then turns it into something hilarious.
Yes.
And a lot of it was, a little fucked up.
Absolutely. I love George Carlin.
Right.
His early work. Not the end.
No.
I mean, he was working stuff out. But still, like when you think of the canon George Carlin. But, I think this is a real problem, and it's a problem with Dave Chappelle. We're looking to comedians to be the arbiters of morality.
Right. Which you shouldn't.
No, because you know who else is a comedian? Dana Carvey. Ooh. Carrot Top. All these guys are comedians too, and we don't look to them. But for some reason, we're like, Dave Chappelle should be the final word on gender studies.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, he shouldn't. One of his funniest punchlines is kick them in the pussy. It's such a funny bit. But I mean, we should. And I understand everyone is more outraged by everything all the time. Right. It's like, Dave Chappelle should be able to say whatever funny shit he wants. Yeah. Calling trans and gay and lesbian people the alphabet people is actually very funny.
Right.
Now, because there's a bunch of people that are big Dave Chappelle defenders and fans, and they go, well, fuck the alphabet people, and we're going to, and I'm going to fight them on Twitter.
Right.
That's a huge problem. Stop it. You don't get the joke then.
Right. Yeah,
you don't get the joke. But I think comedians do their best when they hold a mirror up to us.
Oh, yeah.
And
fucked up shit that we're like, oh, yeah. Shit. Goddamn, that's
But I
funny.
mean, and Dave Chappelle in particular already said it when he was like, the biggest problem out there is you. Yeah. Because you're going to go find something I said that you don't like from 20 years ago, and you're going to complain about it. And it's true.
Yeah.
Whew. Still, you shouldn't masturbate on people.
Now, did we get through this episode without canceling ourselves? Talking about cancellation? Because we talked about it, our very first thing is just like, we are going to attempt to do this
without being canceled.
And it takes a lot of effort to like.
There's some dancing. There's some dancing
troubleshooting.
Yeah. I feel like we did a pretty good job.
I think so.
I
think it's a discussion.
Yeah.
I
like talking about people and their cancellation plights.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who, received a shellacking undeservedly and had to fight their way back. Yeah. And there's a lot of people like something comes out about them, and it's like immediately they get buried.
Yeah. Yeah, like if I did Google this and like looked it up. There was like a lot I didn't even know about, and all of it seemed like it's like something they said 7 years ago or something that said this. It's like it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's If I was a celebrity, if I had reached a certain point, I just wouldn't say anything. I'd be like fucking Bill Belichick. I'd give one word answers.
There's two things I would never do if I was a celebrity. Talk ever, especially on social media. Yeah. Definitely wouldn't do any of that. Yeah. And I wouldn't fucking drive myself anywhere.
Right. I know. I always think about that, but they do. But I don't know. I guess we save money where we can in our world, in our little world. We're like, I'll do that. Or maybe it's like, oh, I don't want to be that person. There has to be a thinking, because they all drive. They all drive all the time, and it's insane. You know who doesn't drive? Celebrities who live in London or New York. They never drive. Yeah, because they don't have to. They don't have to. Stop living in fucking LA. Here we are at Jive and Honey's Highly Recommended, where we recommend some things to watch when you have nights where you're just like, there's nothing to watch, or we've watched everything. I struggle with this constantly. Yeah, it is. It's a thing. It's for sure a thing. And it's just like to find a good movie. It's so funny. I used to think like, oh, there's so many channels on cable, nothing to watch. I have so many subscriptions and nothing to watch. It is. It's true. It's crazy. You're just going through. But it's like, we're going to recommend a few things. It's like, it's worth to take a look at. And we're going to bring it back to our subject today, which was canceled people. Can you still enjoy their work? So my canceled recommendation is Kevin Spacey's L.A. Confidential. It's like it out of all the movies, even more than Usual Suspect. It's the one where I'm like, I think I might be able to watch it just because I like the movie so much. And he's a cog in the wheel. Also, couldn't have been cast better. Oh my god! Oh yeah! Can you imagine if he perfect. And Guy Pearce switched characters? I mean, but going through this is like Guy Pearce is perfectly cast. They all are, and it's Russell Crowe is at his prime. Yeah, it is. You literally think he's and it's like every male will get behind his character, and it's just like. But L.A. Confidential, if you're not familiar with it, it's 1997. Director is Curtis Hanson. R.I.P. Curtis Hanson. Oh, he passed away. He died in 2014, maybe. Oh, not positive, but he died, which I think is a huge bummer because he probably had some better stuff geared up. But looking at his filmography is just In Her Shoes, which I really like. 8 Mile. It was awesome. And one of my favorite small little movies that I just love and I've watched 100 times. Wonder Boys. Yeah, Michael Douglas and Tobey Maguire. Yep. That's cool a really movie. Palatable Tobey Maguire movie. Yeah, but that's a solid. Yeah, that's no misses there. So this is basically a story, and it's like multi-layered, multi-storied, and all these characters coming into one really kind of fucked up thing that happens. Yes. But it's corrupt cops in 1950s Hollywood. Yes. And it's it's politics, celebrity, cop brutality. It's a redemption story. It's like that. This movie and Chinatown are the best noir LA big budget movies that have ever been made. Where Hollywood creeps into it, and which we forget. We were naming everyone in the cast. Kim Basinger. Yeah, she's the dame. She is Hollywood star. Yep. Someone current who could go back in time. Yeah. She fits about. She was. I don't think she was originally cast. I don't know who was, but I don't think it was originally supposed to be her. Didn't she win the Academy Award for this? She did. She did win it for that. It's a very small part, and it was like one of those little bit of a head scratcher. I mean, not that she didn't do a fantastic job, but the limited screen time. It was a limited screen time, but oh my gosh, it's. But it's also you're getting 3 really sort of not super
well-written tropes
Yeah.
of Kevin Spacey being the like cop on the take.
Yeah.
And, Guy Pearce being the by the books hero cop, and Bud, Russell Crowe being
Russell
the
Crowe
brute.
is just like, and he's like, he has mother issues, so like any violence towards women, he will tee you off.
Yeah.
It was
And
like,
it's just like, but it's a classic. It's a reshaping of getting the team together,
right,
which is the best.
right. And Guy Pearce plays a Captain America cop who is a dick.
Huge dick. He's a huge dick. He's a Poindexter dick.
Yeah, and he is just out for himself. It's so good. And we also forgot Danny DeVito is in there for levity.
Yep.
Everyone's a heavy hitter. Everyone,
and
is on their
it's a Hollywood
A-game.
movie. It's a big movie. Like, I'm so glad I saw it in a theater.
Oh,
because it
and
was so massive.
From last week's episode, we the guy that came out, the blonde guy in sneakers.
David Stratham.
Yeah. He's in it too. It's just like, I keep picking all these movies and he's in it.
Yeah, that's really funny. Well, I mean, you could probably go through his catalog and find mostly good movies. Guy knows how to pick a script.
Yeah, I dig that dude a lot. What do you got for us?
Because it's so easy and there's so much there, I have to go with the Harvey Weinstein movie. Because, I mean, fuck that guy, but he made some amazing movies.
Yeah, he did.
And one that's a little smaller, maybe didn't get as much acclaim as I think it deserved. It's George Clooney's directorial debut, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Oh, all right.
Which, is...
I haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah, Chuck Barris. It's an unhinged
I
story.
love Chuck
Barris
Barris.
is fucking insane. Claims to have been a CIA operative.
While doing the Gong Show.
Being the host of the Gong Show.
Google the Gong Show.
It is a fascinating story, and George Clooney did a really great job directing that movie.
Yeah.
And it was the right size and budget, and everything was right about it.
Sam Rockwell, right?
Sam Rockwell. Yeah. And I think that movie still, despite being produced by Harvey Weinstein, is worth a watch.
I haven't watched it in a while. I'll take your recommendation, sir.
Thank you.
And I'll put it on my list to must watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Weinstein Group really, and it's so not funny. It's ironic, I guess, that coming from that fucking pig of a man, they're artful, artistic and artful and thoughtful and well written. It's like so. It's
just
so,
goes to show you can still be a patron of the arts and a piece of shit.
I guess so. Or maybe he just saw a market for it and
maybe he's
just like all in.
Yeah.
He's like these,
That's true.
I always like to throw in something current and do a series. With everything streaming now and everyone's into series and something you can just watch one after another. And on the canceled theme is bringing up Kang again, Jonathan Majors in the series Loki.
Now Jonathan Majors was at the end of season 1.
He comes in at the. Sorry, spoiler. We're recommending something. We're giving away. Sorry about that. Whoops.
It's been out for 3 years. Thought you'd seen it.
But Loki, like the Tom Hiddleston. Yeah. Owen Wilson. They make a great team. If you haven't seen any of the Avengers movies, it's like Loki is one of the iconic characters. He kind of brought the whole series together.
He was the kickoff of the original Avengers
It was great.
movie.
Everyone was in love with him. And Loki, if you don't know, is the god of mischief. But at this point, at the beginning of the series, he's dead. He gets killed in the Avengers movie. So
also, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
In case you're one of the 8 people who didn't see it.
Right. But I guess he gets caught up with these time police, and there's threads of time with different Lokis, and one of them's going off doing bad things. And they thought the only person to catch a Loki is another Loki.
Yes. So there's lots of... There is time travel, which I know can be a little...
Yeah.
They handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
There's lots of different Lokis, which grow increasingly more absurd and funny and serious as it goes.
On that note, I have to say the person that stole the show is Richard Grant, who played the classic Loki.
Yeah.
And he's like has the costume like you would like if you made one from the comic books.
Yes, if you sewed it yourself from the
But
comic books.
he's such a great actor, and
He's so
he
great
did
in it,
such a
yeah.
great thing, and he gave the emotion to this like crazy, sci-fi
and he's
time
actually
travel.
in the most absurd setting.
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, which is great. And the final Loki that they've been searching for the whole time is amazing too.
She killed it.
She killed it.
Sophia Di Martino.
Yes.
Which I had never seen before. I always love when a series brings attention to an actor that I haven't seen before, and she killed it.
Yeah, she absolutely killed it.
She made the series. And then, Jonathan Majors, who's been canceled and like kind of threw the Marvel universe on
Totally
tilted,
out of
like
whack.
the real one.
Like threw $1 billion out the
Yeah.
window, and everyone
and they had a pivot
Yeah.
because of him.
But they took a lot of belts and shoelaces over at Marvel that day.
But he is really good.
He's-
as an actor,
he's a good actor.
He brought some weird maniacal twist to a villain that you're just like, oh shit, like this is gonna fuck up the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
pretty good.
When you're trying to sell yourself as a bad guy who traditionally has been purple.
Yeah, like the comic book
in the
version.
comic book.
I never liked Kang in the comic book.
It was like
Yeah.
thin in the comic. Like wasn't necessarily
Yeah,
until like the
it wasn't
90s
my
where
favorite.
they drew him like bulkier. And kind of a Fantastic Four
Yeah.
sort of Avengers like
Yeah.
5th or 6th on the list.
Like whenever I went to the comic book store and I got the Avengers and it's a Kang story, I'm like,
Yeah. But really brought some weight to it, and
like a really unique
was potentially
twist.
going to be great. And they hung season 2 on.
It was all him, and it was
good. And he played a lot of different characters,
right because
actually.
before he turned evil and got sucked up into time
again.
travel, he was this oddball, goofy professor, weird
And-
inventor, kind of con man. It was great. It was a nice little take.
Yeah, it really. Yeah, it's a shame because he really. He really brought something to that. And I mean, and if you hadn't watched, what was the HBO show he did?
He was in the third Creed, too, which he was very scary.
Oh yeah, he was massive.
Yeah, he kind of like took on like a if Mike Tyson was mad at you.
Yeah, yeah.
Which you kind of never want.
You would. Oh, Lovecraft Country. Sorry.
Oh, Lovecraft Country,
which was a
yeah,
really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool, weird sci-fi show. Whose executive producer was also canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the showrunner. She was apparently not running a real
Good show.
pleasant set. So,
All right, so that's what we got. I got LA Confidential for a movie to check out. Awesome bad cop movie. And Loki, if you haven't checked it out already. I know a lot of people already have, but if you haven't, give it a chance.
Yeah, and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. If you're looking for something, don't forget, please rate, review, subscribe, leave us a message. Tell us some stuff you want us to talk about. Tell us if you've watched any of these movies or TV shows and how you liked it. And leave us a comment about the show and let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and what you would like to see in the future. Because without you, it's just two assholes in a room talking to no one.
Yes. Be safe out there.